From the News Center, this is News Channel 8 Today.
Good morning. I'm Adrienne Pedersen. Thank you so much for joining us this Saturday. We'll get to the news in just a minute, but let's start by checking on your forecast with Storm Team 8 meteorologist Brian Bennett. Brian, it looks like it's shaping up to be a great weekend.
Yeah, it's a great start. Right now, looking outside, we have a whole lot of sunshine, so not a bad start. We have a lot of outdoor festivities this weekend, and it's going to be a pretty good one. Right now, 73 degrees, the temperature in South Tampa with a lot of sunshine. St. Petersburg, 72 degrees, and the warm spot would actually be 73 in Tampa right now. Satellite and radar pictures showing a lot of shower activity to our north, but here in the Bay Area, a lot of sunshine activity. Right now, just a few clouds and no rain anywhere in the Bay Area. So along the beaches today, pretty nice. A lot of sunshine, upper 70s near 80 degrees inland, east of I-75, partly cloudy, 10% chance for a shower, and lower 80s. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast. Looking really good through the lunch hour at 2 p.m. We hit our high temperature around 81 degrees. This evening, a very slight chance for an isolated inland shower. Otherwise, comfortable temperatures in the upper 70s. Adrienne?
All right, thanks, Brian. This morning, the ex-wife of a retired St. Petersburg police officer will face a judge. Investigators accuse Kara Ryan of luring John J.J. Rush to her home and then shooting him. They believe that she was upset that Rush took her off his bank account. Ryan told detectives 10 different stories, everything from Rush raping her to her firing when a person she thought was a stranger walked into her condo.
All these different versions of events and all these stories and concocted nonsense that she's come up with in the last few days, just that.
Deputies found Rush dead on a neighbor's porch after he went there looking for some help. Kara Ryan is a teacher at Clearwater High School, and right now she's on personal leave. A St. Petersburg police officer hit head-on is recovering this morning. An 8 on Your Side was there when the wrong-way driver bonded out of jail. And as you might guess, she didn't greet us with a warm welcome. Listen to this.
Holy, this is so annoying.
Swearing at us right there, Madison Best is charged with drunk driving. She claims she did not see the officer. Investigators tell us Best was going the wrong way on Martin Luther King Jr. Street near Gandy Boulevard when she ran a red light and smashed into the police car. The missing persons investigation for an Uber driver continues this morning, and it just keeps getting more strange as we get more details. Sean Golden did not show up at his scheduled child support hearing in Pennsylvania. He was last seen at a Tampa convenience store Sunday morning. He faced an arrest warrant for failure to appear in court, but a relative paid his child support. The relative hoped that paying that money would encourage Sean to come home. That hasn't worked so far. Now, it's been 4 months since a rash of sinkholes just terrorized a Pasco County neighborhood. You remember this. The holes are now patched, but as 8 on Your Side's Lauren Make discovered, some residents are still waiting for a more permanent fix.
I want to know when they're going to come in and make my house safe.
Penny Sharp is living at home on Torch Street, but she's a little bit anxious about it.
I know that you were real nervous about coming back. Moving back here. How has it been?
I'm still nervous. I'm still nervous. Otherwise, I wouldn't be looking for every little hole.
Are you doing that every day?
Yeah.
That's because this winter, a hole opened up on her driveway after a larger one swallowed a car next door. She still doesn't park a car here.
Oh, your driveway, is it safe to walk on? I mean, I'm standing on it right now. Is it safe for me to be here?
I don't know.
She's worried about what she sees.
Was this crack here before?
It was cracked just a little bit, but it's opened way up.
As residents here wait for grout work to be finished. I asked park management what the holdup is here, and they tell me they are waiting on the owner to decide when to fill things, and that he has also been dealing with some other legal issues. In Holiday, I'm Lauren Make, News Channel 8.
Now to an 8 on Your Side consumer alert for you. Trader Joe's is recalling its cinnamon almonds because they might have some peanuts in them. So this is a risk to anyone, of course, with peanut allergies. So listen to this. The almonds come in a 16-ounce clear plastic package. They were shipped to locations nationwide. If you take them to Trader Joe's, though, of course, they'll give you a full refund. And new this morning, Tropical Cyclone Pam is pounding a South Pacific island chain near Australia. This morning, at least 6 people are dead. So take a look at this. The storm is hammering the islands with torrential rain and whipping winds. Right now, the cyclone is weakening as it moves to New Zealand. The storm is now expected to make landfall. Again, we'll stay on top of that. And at least 21 people are dead after a crowded ferry capsized in Myanmar, which is near India. Huge waves are blamed for the tragedy. 167 people were saved from the sea, but 50 others are still missing. Right now, search and rescue teams are scouring the waters looking for survivors. And local authorities in Chile are declaring a state of emergency. A massive forest fire fueled by high winds is threatening to reach the port cities. 4,500 people fled their homes as the flames torched areas near there. Officials worry because in 2014, a forest fire tore through the port cities and that killed 15 people. A garage explosion sends at least 11 people to the hospital in Ontario. Fire department officials report there were 13 people inside the home at the time of the blast. Investigators don't know how badly the victims are hurt just yet. Right now, fire marshals are investigating the explosion. And Cuba launched the island's first known free public internet service. This is interesting. Now, Cubans can use Wi-Fi service at a studio center in Havana, which is run by a famous Cuban artist. The service is available 24 hours a day without any restrictions. The Wi-Fi is authorized through the Cuban Ministry of Culture. And coming up, the Riverwalk is almost done, and we'll talk to the newly re-elected Mayor Bob Buckhorn about the project. We have a few fun questions for him, too. The live interview coming up next. So you'll notice something different about the Hillsborough River today, that's for sure. That's because Mayor Bob Buckhorn is taking over and dyeing it green in honor of St. Patrick's Day once again. And we so appreciate the mayor stopping by before the big event. You're ready. You have your green pants on.
I am sporting my famous mayoral shamrock pants.
You're festive, ready to go. So tell me, why is this event so fun and why should people come out today?
Well, it's obviously a time to celebrate our Irish history. Even if you're not Irish, it's a great time. And to watch that river turn green, I mean, Kelly green, the color of my pants, is really an amazing experience. And it's very family friendly. The kids love it. There's lots of activities. There's Irish music. It's just a fun day to come celebrate downtown, celebrate Curtis Dixon Park, and celebrate the fact that we're almost at St. Patty's Day.
And of course, Brian Bennett tells us that it will be gorgeous today, so it's a great time to go.
Well, the mayor's got a lot of power.
They're making it a nice day. Between you and Brian, you and the meteorologist,
Absolutely.
You're making it a nice day.
And when it's a bad day, it's Brian's fault.
Oh, that's what I say. And so he's yelling in the corner. I do want to talk about the Riverwalk, though. So obviously that's been a huge project, something you've been a major part of. It is running a little late. We're talking about 2 months now, but it's set to open on March 27th. So can you promise it'll be done by then?
I can. But, you know, you think about it, this has been 6 mayors in the making, 40 years in the making. I'll take 2 months. This will be the completion of a dream and an aspiration for this city that goes back decades. And just like celebrating St. Patrick's Day and turning the river green, focusing this city's attention on the waterfront, which is the best asset that we have, is going to pay dividends for decades. I cannot wait for this to happen.
And I know one thing we've talked about before is you're really hoping that more young professionals will come to Tampa. Maybe people who grew up in Tampa will decide to stay here, work here, build their family life here. But a question I have for you is, do you have to go out then and advertise to get them here, or is it kind of, if you build it, they'll come?
Well, it's sort of word of mouth, and that's happening. I mean, there was a brain drain leaving Tampa for a decade. They were fleeing for Austin and Charlotte and Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, not only are they coming back, but they're bringing their friends back. The demand for residential living downtown far outstrips the supply. So it's working. I mean, the magic is working. All the effort of the last 4 years is working. We've become a hot, cool city that people want to be a part of. And that's empty nesters, and that's young millennials.
And we're excited for the Riverwalk to open. I'll be there. I'm ready to go.
All the mayors will be there with me.
Perfect. And so, okay, we want to play a game now. We've never done this before on Saturday mornings, so make sure that you're not looking at the prompter or we'll give it away. Right. We'll do a little word association. I'll say something, and then you'll tell me 1 or 2 words that come to mind. Okay, so the first one, Pittsburgh Panthers.
Can't beat lightning.
We're talking to Penn State over here, so, okay, what about Mayor Kreisman?
Good guy.
Good guy. That's the St. Petersburg mayor, of course. Your daughter's dating.
Not happening.
They're too young, right? They'll be too young. My dad told me I couldn't date till I was 45, so.
It's still not happening.
Even then, not happening. Tampa 10 years from now.
Spectacular.
Spectacular. You're on a mission to make that happen. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And I do want to remind you guys again, you can see the mayor dyeing the river green today in celebration of St. Patrick's Day, of course. The festivities are from 10:30 to 4 in Curtis Hickson Waterfront Park. The dyeing starts at 11 a.m. Now, certain intersections in Florida can not only be confusing, but potentially deadly. Coming up, 8 on your side asks if these intersections can be contributing to those wrong-way drivers. That's coming up. With all the events going on this weekend, as always, there could be a few traffic tie-ups. Leslie Lacey has our weekend traffic report.
Well, hello there. I hope you are enjoying your weekend. I want to remind you about some events that are taking place that could slow down your drive. This weekend, it's all about sports. We've got hockey taking place at the Amalie Arena with the Lightning taking on the Winnipeg Jets Saturday night, 7 p.m. That's when the puck's going to drop, usually about an hour before and an hour after these games. That's where traffic gets heavy on Boreen, Channelside, and Morgan. So keep that in mind. If you don't like hockey, plenty of spring training is going to be hitting the field. We've got the Yankees taking on the Tigers, and then the Phillies, a Saturday and Sunday game gets underway just after 1:05 here at Steinbrenner Field. What does that mean for your drive? Well, Dale Mabry Highway gets really packed, again, about an hour before and an hour after the game, as well as Tampa Bay Boulevard. You want to keep that in mind. Even Martin Luther King can get a bit busy in that area. Meanwhile, over in Clearwater, it's Highway 60, Coachman, and Belcher that get stacked up when you've got a game at Bright House Field, and the Phillies are going to be taking on the Red Sox there just after 1. Meanwhile, at the Auto Exchange Stadium over in Dunedin, the Blue Jays will take on the Yankees. The Yankees sometimes split their teams for spring training. That's going to be Saturday at 1:07, and hopping down to the Suncoast area in Braden at McKechnie Field Sunday just after 1. The Pirates will battle it out with the Orioles. And then in Sarasota, we've got the Rays and the Orioles Saturday at Ed Smith Stadium. And over in Lakeland, if you live out in Polk County, you can catch the Tigers and the Phillies just after 1. If you are going to be headed to the movies this weekend, here's what's going on. We've got Cinderella, Chappie, and Run All Night that's opening. So what does that mean? Save me some popcorn.
So I'm sure you see the intersections during the week that can be so confusing, especially the entryways to some of the interstates. So let's go ahead and take a look. You can see that red car right there on your screen. And if you turn left where the arrow is pointing, you'd be getting onto the interstate the wrong way. You actually want to go all the way through the intersection and then turn left. Confusing. 8 on your side's Lindsay Mastis investigates whether these intersections are contributing to wrong way driving.
Look at the arrows painted on the road at East Fowler and 275. They're pointing to the off-ramp.
It can be a little bit confusing to drivers. They've certainly told me throughout the years about this particular intersection.
News Channel 8's traffic specialist Leslie Lacey shows us why it's confusing.
There are left-hand turning arrows right here. This is where you stop. That's right before an exit ramp. So if that exit ramp is empty, sometimes it appears like they should be turning onto the exit ramp.
Follow the arrows and you'd be going the wrong way, straight up the off-ramp.
I'm used to it. I travel it quite often, so I'm used to it.
It never happened to me because I know, I'm familiar with the roads. But it can be confusing to people who are visiting or to someone who doesn't know the road.
I asked Kristen Carson with the Florida Department of Transportation whether this could be contributing to wrong-way driving.
The roads are fine. When you look at the police reports, the crash reports from FHP, most all of them involve alcohol and drugs, so that's the issue.
Yet FDOT is making changes.
We're adding more and more pavement markings, we're changing signage. We think it's going to help.
This is what West Bears Avenue and 275 looked like a few months ago. Now the arrows point straight until you get through the intersection. In Tampa, Lindsay Mastis, News Channel 8.
St. Patrick's Day isn't until Tuesday, of course, but a lot of folks are celebrating with festivities today, including the dyeing of the Hillsborough River at 11 a.m., as we just discussed, at Curtis Hickson Park. A lot of sunshine, looking good for that. 77 degrees will be the temperature at 11 a.m. 3 p.m., partly cloudy and warm. 81 degrees, our high temperature. And 7 p.m., partly cloudy, maybe a little inland shower. Not a big deal today, and 78 degrees. Let's take a live look at the river right now. The river is still... well, hey, look at that. Is that a little bit of green? Maybe a tiny bit of green, but for the most part, it is blue, as it should be, the Hillsborough River. We're going to be watching it throughout the afternoon, and you're going to see it changing from that blue color to the greenish color, celebrating St. Patrick's Day. And there's Curtis Hickson Park right there, and you can see that right now it's kind of empty, but I expect that it'll get pretty busy as well. All right, that's the St. Patrick's Day festivities. What about the beach? A lot of spring breakers are in town. I'd give today about a 9 out of 10. So pretty good beach day for the most part. The reason why, we're going to have lots of sunshine. That brings up the number. Air temperature about a degree or two cooler than it has been the last day or two. So maybe knocking off a half point for that because it will be a degree or two cooler, but still not bad, near 80 degrees. Water temperature, that takes off a point. Chilly, 70 degrees. Pretty much only tourists or folks in wetsuits getting in the Gulf, as I saw a lot of folks yesterday in the water, actually. Check out the current view right now from St. Pete Beach. Looking good. If you want to get out there early, you can probably avoid some of the crowds. I guarantee traffic to the beach later today will be kind of on the heavy side. But right now, it is a beautiful looking morning at the beach, and it's going to be a pretty nice day, too. Again, the water is chilly. It's 70 degrees. April 1st, 73. May 1st, it'll be 80 degrees. That's my personal threshold. And then by August, bath water near 90 degrees. The air temperature, pretty comfortable right now, right around 70 degrees. Satellite and radar pictures showing pretty much cloud-free skies and nice conditions. The bigger view shows kind of messy weather up to our north, but for the most part, that is going to stay to our north. High pressure is actually going to kick it on out of here as we head towards the work week. So today, 81 degrees for high temperature. Along the coast, we'll have a lot of sunshine. Inland, mainly after 3 p.m., partly cloudy, 10% chance for a shower. Here's where the rain chances will be today. Again, the coastal areas, I would say there's about a 1% chance for rain. Hope it doesn't rain on the coast. And then heading inland, there's about a 10% chance for a shower. Again, today a good day. Tomorrow looking good. Sunshine Monday and Tuesday. All in all, not a bad looking March 7-day forecast.
And it's a nice time for spring break, too. A lot of people in town.
Perfect timing.
Locals taking staycations, like me.
Hey, yeah, staying out at the beach.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Another young quarterback is coming to One Buck Place. Still ahead when the Bucks will welcome Marcus Mariota, and who News Channel 8 experts believe the Bucks will choose in the draft. Stay with us.
The way the Bucks publicized Jameis Winston's visit to team headquarters last week, it was another piece of evidence they're taking him with the #1 pick. But what if the Bucks hype up Marcus Mariota's visit the same way? Because we now know Mariota will be dropping by One Buck Place on Monday. Now, Bucks GM Jason Light was just in Oregon on Thursday to watch Mariota at his pro day, and Mariota will have a private workout with the Bucks next month. I still think Winston's the pick, though. The Bucks might feel obliged to give Mariota's visit the same hype as Winston as to not tip their hand on that pick. All right, visa issues kept Rays pitcher Alex Colomé from joining the team in spring training until just this past Tuesday, but he won't be making his season debut anytime soon because manager Kevin Cash announced Colomé has pneumonia and is out indefinitely. Packed house in Clearwater yesterday for the Rays game against the Phillies. Evan Longoria, his swing already looking to be in midseason form. RBI base knock, a pair of hits for Longo. Chris Archer on the hill for the Rays. Pitches pretty well except for this 2-run tater to Ryan Howard. And that is all the runs for the day. Rays lose 2-1. Archer does pitch well, though, despite the home run. All right, round 2 of the Valspar Championships in Palm Harbor. If you're going to go golfing this week, don't do what Ernie Els does right here. Yeah, snaps the club, actually hits a pretty good shot. Els doesn't make the cut, though. Shot of the day comes on the 15th hole. This is Jonathan Bird looking good because it's in the hole. That's the ace. Brendan DeYoung from Zimbabwe is your leader at 6 under par, but there are 5 golfers just 1 shot back, so it's anyone's tournament. You can watch the final 2 rounds right here on News Channel 8. Plus, the Lightning, they are at home tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. And that's sports. Have a great Saturday.
So it's the time of year that most of us dread. We're talking about pollen season. Still ahead, what you can do to prevent those annoying allergies. That story and more coming up in our next half hour. We'll be right back.